Good day, everyone. What would you do if a gun was pointed at you? Would you run or would you freeze or surrender? Well, I didn't know I would do too until I was faced with that situation. My name is Saudatu Shagari, and I'm here to tell you about the 3 lessons I learned from my encounter with armed robbers. Okay. It was Christmas Eve in 2010, and you know how Abuja is during those days. It's very quiet and relaxed, less traffic, no cars on the road. So it was a very peaceful day. And I decided to close from work early because that's what you do on Christmas Eve. So on my way home, I always used to pass fish, fish sellers on my way home on one junction. So, but every time I pass, it's always because I don't have money or I'm in a hurry. But that fateful day, I had both the time and money. So I decided to stop and buy fish. And it was a Friday, so there was only one fish seller there. And I stopped my car. He came. I opened my door. He, I chose the fish that I wanted, and he went there to cut it and clean. And as I was waiting, I noticed a car came and parked right by my side. And I was curious, like, who is this? They're so close. I thought it was someone that I knew. Then I noticed there were like 5 passengers. No, 5 people, including the driver. And all the passengers were carrying guns, AK-47. And they all came out at once. The other 3 went round my car to enter but luckily my doors were locked. So it was only the one that came to my door. He opened the door and he pointed the gun at me. And mind you, I was 6 months pregnant. So in my head, I saw myself coming down and, but for some reason, I just changed gears and accelerated. My car just sped off. My door was still open. And I was speeding and screaming at the same time. And I was just waiting for the bullets, you know? And I was looking back at the rearview mirror. They were standing there. I was just speeding and speeding and screaming. And then I called my husband. I was like, I'm robbers. The first thing he said, give them the car, give them the car. I said, I have escaped. So I sped past because I remember they say whenever they're pursuing you or you suspect they're following you, you shouldn't go to your house. So I sped past my house and I was just speeding. People were even like, slow down on the road. No, I was so scared. And then my brother's house was nearby. When I noticed they were not following me, I went to my brother's house. There was nobody. There was just a security guy. So he let me in. And my husband was just right behind me. So it was then that the shock, when I came out, my whole body was shaking. So he took me, we left my car there. We went back to my house and it was Friday, so he went to pray. And I was in the house, and he later came back. He came back with the fish. So he said he went back there and he saw the fish seller, and he said right after I left, they followed him. They pursued him too, so he went into the bush and hid. And then finally, when they couldn't find him, they gave up and left. And so I escaped that day, but it changed me forever because I went through a really traumatic experience, and it took a long time for me. Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night, very scared, like trembling, and I would see them standing over me. It was really traumatic. And even today, when I'm parked somewhere and I see somebody open their door, my heart will stop. So that's my encounter with armed robbers. And what I learned from there is that you need to always be aware of your environment. Be very conscious of your surroundings, and wherever you're parked. What saved me was because my car doors were locked. if they weren't locked, they would have been in my car. So that's why. And most importantly, PTSD is real. I went through that, and I think anyone that has, I'm sure most of us have had some kind of experience like this living in this country. So what I could say is, if you have been through any traumatic experience, you should seek help when you need. It's very important. Thank you very much.